there should be nothing. No reason at all. What's up, guys? All here, and here we are to do a rather quick discussion that I kind of just want to do so it's set in stone before it happens, because presumably it's going to happen one way or another. But just before it happens, I wanted to have a quick little discussion on why Ryomen Sukuna has literally negative reason to lose. Literally negative. There's not a single reason this man should lose at all in any universe, in any way, shape, and or form. I just want to quickly cover why. So when it does happen, I can look back and see what I hypothetically missed. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me. Weren't expecting that one. Keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, Ryomen Sukuna no longer has it on him and keeps it on him at all times. Rose made that little special gift just for him out of the remaining of her cursed energy and soul, sacrifice all that, and Kamotoke is now gone. So Ryomen Sukuna, he's just caught such a hefty and fat and scrumdiddlyumptious, bubblelumptious nerf. There's just no way. There's no way our big daddy Sukuna could ever squeeze out a W. Oh, wait. Who does he have left to fight? Fodder 1, Fodder 2, Fodder 3, Fodder 4, Fodder 5, and many more. Yeah. So the thing about Ryomen Sukuna is that he's Ryomen Sukuna, and he's freshly incarnated. And I want to mention this. Ever since he was freshly incarnated, he has taken not a little bit, not a chunk, not a massive, zero damage. Zero. Settle. Might as well be called a bleach attack from the hollows, because he has taken settle damage. And it's for a good reason. Because Ryomen Sukuna, at this point in the series, especially with certain scaling implications that have been highlighted, there is, at least in there's no clearly established, fully explained thing in the series that should have Ryomen Sukuna lose. At least from my understanding of the manga. Now, admittedly, I've been wrong about my understanding of the manga before. I'm ready to be wrong about my understanding of the manga again. I'm probably wrong about my certain understanding of the manga right now. But I do just want to lay out the fact. Scaling-wise, ability-wise, hacks-wise, IQ-wise, battle IQ-wise, build-wise, everything-wise, why Ryomen Sukuna, for all intents and purposes, should just be legally unstoppable. Like, I swear, if we were to look up unstoppable in the dictionary of the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, it's very, and I mean very likely, they would find a picture of Ryomen Sukuna cheesing right there, all four eyes and everything, and let's talk about why. So, I don't think I need to convince you. There have been many debates on who's number 3. Number 4, number 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Those numbers were not math. Did I skip a number? Regardless, there have been a bunch of arguments about who the top 10 or the top 15. Top 15 is actually a pretty common number that I see used for JJK's like top things. It's either top 5, top 15, and sometimes top 10s are mentioned. But in terms of the overall power ranking, you can have like field days worth of arguments for who's number 3 in the verse, who's number 4 in the verse, who's number 5 in the verse, who's number 6 in the verse. You have the Kashimo Glazers who are all like, yeah, it's gotta be my main man, Mythical Beast Amber Kashimo. You got the Yuta Yuckers who are like, it's gotta be my main man, Yuta. You got the Hikari Hoppers who are like, it's gotta be my big beefy boy Hikari. You have the Maki Meat Munchers who wants it to be Maki. You got the Toji Toe Tasters who want it to be Toji. You got, I don't know, like, I feel like all the Yuki Tsukumo fans know their place. I mean that in like the kindest way possible. No one's saying Yuki's number 3 in the verse. We literally saw her lose to Kenjaku. But you got the Kenjaku creamers who literally love Kenny and say he was caught off guard. It was not his fault. His cursed energy was suppressed, whatever, because of Takaba and Nusli. They had to jump him. They had to get him in some unawares. You have the Takaba ticklers who believe it's Takaba at number 3, undoubtedly. But you know who's not discussed? You know who's nowhere near in contention? You know who is so unbelievably powerful that even after it's been, what, like 2, pushing 3 months since his public execution, people are still trying to argue he's number 1? And hey, as a glazer of his, I can see the arguments, but I'm leaning towards not, just because like hacks matchup, I guess hacks matchup versus stats matchup is a different thing. I guess the speed of the hacks does, whatever. Regardless, Gojo Satoru is the second strongest character in the verse. Or the first. Whichever one you believe, I think the top 2 spots are pretty concretely locked in. I've seen meme arguments now, because Gojo's been cooked for a while. Like, I've seen meme arguments about Maharaga. And let me say this, because I did accidentally mislead people. Yes, if Maharaga was fully adapted to the entirety of Satoru Gojo's kit, like from purple all the way down, yeah, of course, he's gonna win. Because Gojo literally can't execute him. Gojo would have to, like, literally make a new color. He'd have to pull out lime green or something. But, like, outside of, like, meme arguments for Maharaga, and like in a possible scenario that he could literally never reach, and like meme arguments for Kenny and Yuta and stuff like that. Like no one's really debating that Gojo Satoru is the second strongest character in the verse. Like, I think we've all come to that consensus. It's not. I don't think it's a hot take. I know I make hot takes all the time on the channel, but I don't think this one is one of them. So, and here's another thing that I feel like is pretty solid and pretty set in stone. I don't think this is also too controversial of a take, but I'm going to say it. The gap between 1 and 2 seems to be pretty narrow. Obviously, you can tell by the end of the Maguna versus Gojo fight that it was like skin of the teeth kind of thing. If Sukuna was like 2 feet closer to the Hollow Purple, he may have been entirely vaporized. If Gojo was paying just a bit more attention, he may have been able to do something about the spatial slash. If Kashimo was able to, if he was paying more attention, whatever. It was a super omega close fight. So the gap between 1 and 2 is pretty linear, especially if you're one of the people who believes that there's actually no stat difference in between 20-finger Heian body Sukuna and 20-finger Megami body Sukuna. If you think there's no difference between the two, literally the only difference that Sukuna has is a pair of extra arms, which are pretty irrelevant against the Infinity, and double chanting, which is very, very good. But once again, unless it's spatial slash, the chanting doesn't really matter because none will be able to breach the Infinity. But with that being the case, 1 and 2 are very, very close. But whether your number 3 is Yuta, whether your number 3 is Kenny, whether your number 3 is Akari, whether your number 3 is Maki or Toji or Yuki or Ryu or anyone else, I think everyone has come to the common consensus that the gap between 2 and 3 is massive, gargantuan, thicker than 15 Snickers. Like, it is so large that it is actually insane to try and fathom how juicy and jacked that gap is. Gap so thick, it might as well be the Grand Canyon. Between number 2 and number 3 in the verse, it is clearly established. I want you to remember that Gojo Satoru, while having a whole arm lopped off, having low RCT output, low cursed energy output, fatigued and brain damaged, is so unbelievably powerful that Hikari Kenji, at the sheer notion of Yuta Okotsu, the commonly believed 3rd strongest character in the verse, the simple notion of him going out there, had Hikari Kenji saying, hey, remember, Gojo said only go out there when one of us, one of the 2 heavy hitters, forget Maki, one of the 2 heavy hitters is weaker than him. Which implies to me, at least from my understanding, that a one-armed, brain-damaged, low RCT, low CT output Gojo is still stronger than Akari by a decent enough margin that Akari doesn't think that he or Yuta are strong enough to go out there and actually do anything. So I don't think I need to convince you that full 20-finger Heian arrow body Sukuna is more powerful than that one-armed, low RCT, low CT output Gojo who has brain damage. So the gap is massive. Just in the raw stats thing. We're just talking straight stats here. Like, in terms of speed, no one's keeping up with Gojo except for Sukuna, and he was barely doing that. In terms of raw physical power, you can make a solid argument that without blue amping him, Sukuna likely kind of has the edge there. Just once again, it's Satoru Gojo who has blue, who can amp his physicals. In terms of like battle IQ, Sukuna is clearly above Gojo. Like, as much as I love Gojo, it's clear that Sukuna is just a level, like a clear level above. If I were to make it like a battle IQ tier list, Gojo would be a whole tier below. You can tell by how Sukuna knows things that Gojo doesn't, wields things in ways that Gojo doesn't, and is clearly playing around throughout a lot of their encounters. Like, yeah, he's got a big old brain on him. He's very, very intelligent in terms of raw battle IQ. And Gojo's a genius in of himself. Don't take me saying that Sukuna is much smarter than Gojo as saying, oh, Gojo, Satoru Gojo, more like Satoru, oh lord, Satoru stupid head. He just must be an idiot, a dumb bubblegum, stupid head. No, I'm not saying that. It's just that Gojo is just outclassed by Sukuna because Sukuna is just that smart in terms of battle IQ. In terms of Jujutsu knowledge, I don't think there's anyone of our remaining cast and crew on the good guy side that's like as knowledgeable as Gojo was, not to talk of Sukuna. So like, there are levels to it. Remember, this is Sukuna who saw an evolved variation of his technique once and whipped it out, smacked it on Satoru Gojo's forehead so hard that he fell over from his stomach, while Ryomen Sukuna was on 2 stumps for feet, missing a hand, and was literally about to perish. Sukuna has IQ for IQ, around IQ, by IQ. There are levels to this. And once again, we're just talking stats, IQ, and the overall gap in Sukuna and Gojo and everyone else in that regard. You know, the also worst thing, Sukuna arguably has better hacks than everyone that's left too. Obviously, Higuruma's hacks are nice, like the instant kill blade. Oh, that's neat. It's never hit Sukuna because of the stat gap. But that's like the only thing maybe. But even then, you need to swing the Executioner's blade, and you need to tag Sukuna, which you will most likely not do. So there's that. I mean, once again, Yuta Kotsu's copy ability is pretty much boundless. He's the only one that could kind of keep up with Sukuna in terms of just like, if they were to go bar for bar on straight hacks, like, who knows what Yuta could slap on the table. He could slap Angel's Technique, he could slap out a bootleg version of Limitless, he could slap out a Hollow Purple, he could slap out Sukuna's own slashes, he could slap out pretty much anything. So Yuta Kotsu, he's kind of the only one, but once again, that's all speculation. If we're talking, once again, the point of this video, sure confirm stuff that we have flat out verbatim stated or shown to us in the manga. Right now, all Yuta has flat out verbatim and confirmed is Rika, Curse Spirit Manipulation, not Curse Spirit Manipulation, Joshikigami Technique, Sky Manipulation, and Curse Speech. None of them things are doing much numbers to Sukuna if they're even able to hit. Because once again, Yuta should be much, much slower than Sukuna. So if we're delving into speculation, Yuta could have a relative bar for bar kit, but I don't think he does at what's confirmed, despite how good the 3 techniques that Yuta has access to are. Hakari, he punches real good. That man ain't got no hacks. He's kind of immortal, but he's immortal. If he gets his head spatial slashed off, he's still cooked. Yuji Todori, once again, entirely mysterious. We don't know. I've seen a whole bunch of theories. I'm making my own theory about Yuji Todori and his new abilities. But, like, until we get that confirmed, that's just a theory. A Jujutsu theory. Get you next time. Okay, but with that being the case, Ryomen Sukuna has Cleave and Dismantle. I'm not talking about Spatial Slash. I'm not talking about Fuga, the box open. I'm not talking about the Flame Arrow. I'm not even talking about a hypothetical 10 Shadows that he may still have. And I know, I still feel so weird holding out for 10 Shadows. Like, I'm a 10 Shadows fan. I'm a 10 Shadows hater. I'm a hater. I hate the 10 Shadows. Not really. But, like, I think it's a bad technique. But, like, Suna just made it so cool. So I guess I'm holding out for 10 Shadows. But even, once again, remove 10 Shadows. Once again, because that's an unconfirmed thing. It's mostly a theory. A Jujutsu theory. Holding out on that. Just, anyone's not surviving a 100% cleave. I'm sorry. They're not. If Ryu was able to just get 3Ps by 15 finger, what you think 20 finger about to do to that, man? Hand body. All that good extra juice on him. Mr. Highest output in history got low deft by a speed blitz and some dismantles and cleaves. And once again, no one should be able to survive it. And before, well, Kusagame survived it. Well, Higuruma survived it. So clearly, but once again, we're talking, if Sukuna was just optimal, if Sukuna wanted to win, let's be real, Higuruma would have not got him in that domain. The moment Higuruma showed up at the end of 238, Sukuna would have and Higuruma would have been in half. Because no one surviving cleaves and dismantles. I want you to realize this. It's a simple law of nature. But even if, hypothetically, speaking purely hypothetical, if we were to grant the idea that Ryomen Sukuna somehow lost like all the potency in his cleaves and dismantles, he still has a Spatial Slash, which doesn't care about your durability, your cursed energy type, or anything like that. Because Spatial Slash just deletes space. If you happen to exist in space, shock horror, most of our characters in cast, if not all of them, exist in space. Yeah, they're all getting one tap. Every last one of them on some Dimitri from Fire Emblem 3 Houses type B. Like, straight up, no one is surviving a Spatial Slash. And notably, he can use it. There was a bunch of contention after it happened that, well, maybe Sukuna can't use it, maybe it was a one-time thing, maybe Maharaga did from the shadows somehow, even though he was literally vaporized, whatever. No, we see him use it. And it's not even a difficult thing. Like, it's like a 3-stage chant. He like says 6 words, and suddenly space itself is being deleted. He had to tell Kashimo to move as he proceeded to blitz Kashimo's light speed attack. I'm sorry. What is that? You told me anyone surviving that? I don't think so. I legitimately don't think so. I don't think anyone surviving the Flame Arrow either. Everyone should be cooked. In terms of the raw speed gap, the raw stat gap, the raw juice in terms of hacks, IQ, all those gaps, everyone should just be a statistic. Whether it be Maki, whether it be Akari, whether it be Yuta, whether it be Yuji, whether it be anybody, from what we know, everyone should be a pack. I want you to remember this as we continue on within the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. I want you to remember that if Sukuna loses, he had negative reason to. So, let me know. Do you disagree? Do you think Sukuna has some sort of outdoer, whether it be in stats, ability, strength, hacks, anything? Please let me know. All that and more in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Man, that sucker. No. Leave the strong king. A lot of things have been king related in terms of the past, but leave the strong king in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Clear to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. And also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reaction to the very next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dagger the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Sukuna Plays, Redle 4765, and Greyhound. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Sean, Midnight Gemlord, Kevin, Demix LND, and Igneal. I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 member, Autumn's Morning Lazo. And I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchio, Joaquin, Idemokami, and China Doll 09. I'd like to give a thicker than a snicker thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give another thicker than a frozen jar of peanut butter thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.